Your husband, how did you meet him?
Oh, we met 2 years before I came here. Then he left on a contract to the States as a farm worker. He was there 1 year before I came here. And we continued corresponding for 4 years until he came back, went back to Jamaica for 6 months to get all the papers finalized. I applied for him and he came over and we were married in 1958 in Chalmers Church.
Was it easy for him to get a job?
January, we were married the 25th of January because you have to marry 1 month when you arrive in the country, 1 month after. It was a little difficult, but I had a friend who my cousin was working with, and he talked to a contractor. So when my husband got married and said, well, I'm ready to work, he contacted him and he got carpenter work to do, which was very hard in the cold because he even got frozen toes from it. In Alta Vista, they were starting to build up houses over Alta Vista, and that's where he was working. And he came home one night and he said, I can't feel my toes. He never get over it. And he heard about the Carpenters Union. And he went and joined the Carpenters Union, and so that just sent us on our way. Well, he worked for the union. We started having babies, and I couldn't work because there were no babysitters. So I stayed home with my 5 children until the last one was 7 years before I could work. My husband and I put together and we bought a house and moved to the country. So my children was able to grow up out in the country, which was Hammond. The house is still in the family. I sold it to one of my sons now. He was the baby when we moved there. He was 2 years old when we moved there. So he, let my husband work until construction work get very slow and was periodical after winter. They have no job. So he started his own business as JP Home Care. And he continued until he passed away in 1994. Yes.
Let's talk about the domestics when you came, because you were in the first group that came. Tell us about that.
Well, there was no problem with the family that I was working with until after I got married. Then they wanted my husband was to work for them too. But I said, no, he's a carpenter. He's not going to stay and do your gardening. We are going to leave. So I worked for them for 2 years. And then afterward, I got a job with Dr. Yao, who was a medical doctor at the Grace Hospital. She was working on call, so I went to work for her. And she had 2 boys too, which they were no problem. But we got along all right, and after I moved out the country, I just didn't continue. Once I start nursing, I didn't go back into domestic work. Between the children, I went and took Red Cross course as a first aid. And then I was working at the Pearly as a nurse's aide. But after I worked for a year, I said, oh no, I want it better because it was not paying very much. So I decided I went back to Algonquin and took my general high school course and get my diploma. Then I applied at St. Vincent School of Nursing, and I went into nursing and got my RNA, and I worked at that until I retired.
How many years?
About 40 years. Yes.